Hello, and welcome to the Love Your Work Life podcast. I'm your host, Elissa Shuck. Whether you're going for that next promotion, looking for a job, or making a career pivot, I'll teach you how to navigate it all so you can have the career you want.
Welcome to the Love Your Work Life podcast, episode 39.
As I record this episode, it is early January 2022, and it's New Year's resolution time. Yay, right? I don't know if you would get excited about it. I stopped making resolutions a long time ago. But here's the thing. It is natural at this time of year to start to take a look at your life. And is it turning out to be what you wanted it to be? Is the job you have the job that you intended to have? Are you doing what you love? It's so interesting to me that as I was hanging out on LinkedIn on January 1st, I was getting direct messages. I need your help. I'm ready. I can't do this anymore. It is so true that if you are stuck in a job you hate, that you're kind of hating life. It has these tentacles and way of getting out into the rest of your life. I mean, come on. Sundays are a wreck when you hate your job, because all you're doing is counting down the hours till you have to face it again. And then Mondays are awful, and your productivity is terrible because all you can think of is Friday. And I know if you're like all my clients, you have integrity, my friend. It bothers you to know that you are not your best. And if the core reason that you're not your best is because you hate your job, I want to encourage you that there are possibilities for you. And so today I'm going to talk about how to leave a job you hate. I know I don't like to use that word very often, but sometimes that's just the truth. You are in a job that is undervaluing you, maybe underpaying you, maybe the things you do are not aligned with your personal values and beliefs. Maybe you just kind of fell into it and you're on this track and you really don't know how you got there, and you feel stuck and you just aren't sure that anything is possible anymore. If any of this sounds familiar, and there's lots of other reasons why you could hate your job, maybe the environment is toxic. Trust me, I've been there and I've seen it all. But I want to talk to you about some techniques that will help you finally get things in motion so that you can get into a job that you love. And you know, I'm not big on the whole quote unquote dream job way of talking about it, because if you never define it, then you don't know how to get it. Your brain doesn't know how to help you get it. But I'm going to talk through some ideas with you that will help you start to create some motivation for yourself. And one of the ways that you can do this is through what Tony Robbins calls leverage. Getting some leverage on yourself through the idea of what's causing you pain and what would the pleasure be if you actually did what you wanted to. I have an older episode that I talk about what are you running towards and focusing on that instead of what are you running away from. And that's part of it. But when you really hate your job, boy, your brain is not working right. Your thoughts are not serving you most of the time. So here's some ideas about how you can start to break through that and get some traction, get some things moving in the right direction. First of all, I want you to think about what it's costing you. What is it costing you to stay in that job that you hate, that job that's uncomfortable, that toxic environment? If you take a close look, it is costing you something. It's costing you your self-esteem. It's costing you maybe literally financially because you haven't had a raise in a long time. And when you ask, you're not valued. Maybe it's costing you your self-worth because you work your butt off and you're never appreciated. I always coach my clients, look, we have to find validation within ourselves first and foremost. But trust me, I've been there. That's a battle when you're in a place that doesn't appreciate you. And so think about these questions. What is it costing you to be in this place doing that thing that you don't love? What's it costing the people you care about? Are you your best self for them when you're staying in that job that you hate? These are the questions that you must ask yourself. The other question that you need to ask yourself is, how is the way you're acting? How is what you're putting up with inconsistent with the rest of the way that you live your life? It's so interesting to me that when you are facing the decisions and the actions that you need to take when you're entering a job search or when you're pondering it or when you're in the middle of it, how much you will negotiate with yourself about what you should do or must do when you would absolutely never negotiate those kinds of things with your boss. You would always show up for that meeting that's on your calendar. Why don't you show up for that time that you've designated? Sitting there after work, hanging out, maybe a little TV in the background, but looking at job postings, connecting with the people that can help you get yourself in front of a hiring manager. Listen, you would never say no to someone you love when they needed your help and they needed you to show up. You would never blow off that meeting. You would look at that as being something that was a must in your life. So I want you to start thinking about everything that you do that's associated with your job search and getting out as a must, as a non-negotiable. That listen, if you were the CEO or director of your life and you had set this goal for yourself to get yourself a promotion by leaving the job that's not valuing you, by not following through, you're actually kind of being insubordinate to yourself. You're not doing the thing that you know is required to get it done. Don't do that to yourself. It is not good for you, my friend, because it just creates this spiral of letting yourself down over and over again. What is it costing you? How is the way you're acting? How is this avoiding action that you need to take or staying in a place that you're not happy? How is that inconsistent with other things that are important to you, ways you behave in other areas of your life? This third principle regarding leverage is asking yourself, what happens if you do get that new job? This is a pleasure associating question, is how he puts it. But if you did land that other job, what would your life look like? If you did increase your pay by 10%, 20%, what would you gain? How could your lifestyle be changed? How could you contribute to the things that you care about, whether that's your immediate family or the causes and the things that you actually love and want to be a part of? What would it mean for you? What would it mean for the people you love? Can you imagine actually looking forward to going to work? If you want to make that pivot from corporate to nonprofit, or leverage your skills from one industry to another, what's the gain for you? Man, hey, just not hating Sunday night might be enough of a benefit for you. Find out those things. Leverage the idea of, hey, what is this pain that you're causing yourself by not moving forward? How is it inconsistent with the way you behave in other areas of life? And then focus on what you're running toward. What are the pleasures that you're going to get? What are the benefits that you're going to get? What does it mean to finally leave a job you hate and land a job that you love so that you can love your work life? Wouldn't that be awesome? All right. Take some steps. Be true to yourself. And I'll talk to you next time.
Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out my Love Your Work Life programs on Teachable. You can choose from on-demand courses or personalized one-on-one coaching with me. We take all of this material and apply it so that you can live it and create the career you want. Because when you love your work life, all the other parts of life get better too. So go to Love Your Work Life Teachable as search terms, or love-your-work-life.teachable.com. I will see you there.